Father John Adams called the 30 years of me prime the age of pen. Sounds flattering, until he appended the age of death and destruction. Powerful men did not fault themselves for bloody rebellion. They blamed me. I became the creator of America, or the corrupter. There is some dispute. Long ago, I freebooted. Life at sea had to be better than life on land. My natal village in England endured want. Our Lord enclosed common lands, forcing some neighbours into the poorhouse, others into highway robbery. Every month of me childhood, from me bedroom window, I witnessed an hanging. Some even of boys for stealing a penny. Even of his dog if her load felt peevish. Bewildering, unwarranted, or how could a child cope? Bearing our stillborn son, Mary's blood soaking our bed. I, the helpless husband, held her hand. Mary did not know it. The midwife gave us privacy. I wiped Mary's brow, arranged her features, smoothed away the mask of pain. The State House boiled with debate, until Ben noted we should all hang together or hang separately. Most delegates, save for some businessmen, added their names to our declaration. I called this new nation the United States of America. As I had written common sense to get us into war, I now wrote the American crisis to keep us at war. Seated at a tom-tom drum in our miserable camp, I penned such lines as, "These are the times that try men's souls." At last, it was over. A treaty was signed. John Adams had the grace to say, if not for the pen of Penn, the sword of Washington would have been wielded in vain. Mark that, a lawyer's honest. Elizabeth grabbed me elbow. Your scribbling enables you to pay us pensions now. Why could you not have used common sense years earlier? To that I had no answer, and no time to tell it if I did, as she fired off more critique. You presented that petition to the king at the urging of me father, another man lacking the sense of a goose. Listen to your old wife, Tom. Do that again, as you certainly will, and you shall put yourself in even greater jeopardy. With that, she let me go. Actually, her shove made me go. Unable to contest her burden, I carried her words with me. Not just the title, but also celebrated authors and scientists invited me to dinners. Certain ladies put me in the position of having to learn the polite art of refusal. Benjamin and I differed on that score. One evening, artist poet William Blake burst into Priestley's apartment during supper and warned me not to return home, whence he had come and where he had seen Pitt's thugs hiding bearing weapons of murder. Blake and Priestley ordered me to flee London at once. Uncertain Pitt would go so far, I quipped, surely I had time to finish my dessert first. Neither man laughed. Me bravado, both said, would cost me me life. Me fourth brush with death. Robespierre, that man's speech would incite a mob, cast the deciding vote. In silence, they led Louis away. He who had put his faith in us who had enabled America's victory, nodded at me. Unable to alter his fate, I felt inept and ashamed. Crowds at the guillotine stood stunned. Never before had commoners done such a thing. What would happen to them now? Yet with the deed done and the king's head rolled off his shoulders, they erupted in mad defiance. Some dipped handkerchiefs into puddles of royal blood and taunted the other monarchs of Europe. If armies were to defeat France, they'd have to kill rabid dogs. Staying made me question me sanity and made her question me love. That cut deeply. Cornelie so tender and loyal. She twisted away. I brought her tresses to me lips, and wordlessly we wept together. Contemplating what I had set down in Age of Reason, I reached an understanding about dying that comforted prisoners. The condemned approached me, and together we'd commune gently and find a quiet pace. Then, with heads held high, they were led off to lose them. And then a wondrous thing happened. On that very same day, Robespierre's allies, realizing there were no more important figures to execute but themselves, arrested and guillotined Robespierre himself, sparing us remaining prisoners. After most others had been released, there were few left to talk to. Just as me French was getting better. America's new ambassador to France, old friend James Monroe, discovered I'd never been frayed. He did not recognize the filthy, frail, unkempt man before him. Nothing like the robust specimen you say. After the mob's degradation, the Tuileries had been magnificently restored. Bonaparte's French, like my own, was accented. He'd observed 4 hostile newspapers are more to be feared than 1,000 bayonets. He knew the power of the pen. He told me he slept with me books under his pillow, and that a statue of me in gold should be erected in every city. I modestly amended, merely gold-plated. To the Prime Minister's list of lies, Hamilton's libelers added their own. Paine was a staggering drunk. Even younger men after a year in prison have stumbled from less jovial causes. Slovenly? Me Parisian friends were especially insulted on me behalf. And lived with his mistress without the benefit of marriage. How else does one live with one's mistress? Founding Father William Floyd invited me to a fete in me honor in New York. Jefferson warned, New York was Hamilton's. In an effort to keep John Adams in the presidency, Hamilton had tried to miscount the state's electoral votes in a democracy. When I went to vote, the clerk blocked me for being an immigrant, embarrassing many witnesses. I demanded to know how immigrant Hamilton not only voted, but sat in Congress. A did not denounce George Washington, the clerk told me, and threatened to have me arrested. Unable to choose me representative in the republic I helped found, pierced me heart more painfully than if me husband's bullet had found its mark. Upon parting, the pastor offered me a free plot in his cemetery. I thanked him and added, as I was in no hurry, please do fill it without me. Asked, was what we rebels created progress or a brief aberration in human nature? The cold ends of time have dimmed people's enlightenment. Our long ago blood and dreams now amount to mere slogans devoid of truth. When America ceases, remembered only as humanity's noblest work of wisdom, grandest scheme of glory, fairest cause of freedom. People's sorrow shall be infinite. Me tormentors bowed their heads. Me bones became and remain unfound. But who needs them now? If you find them, let them remind you what revolutionaries paid to bequeath you this republic. And with that, do what you will.